Hey there guys, today we are going to do another room called Vulnversity. Hope I'm pronouncing it right. It teaches us about the active recon, web app attacks and bit of privilege escalation. So let's get started with the task 1. I've already started the machine, so deploy the machine. Let's complete it. Let's get started with the reconnaissance. So scan the box, and these are some of the nmap flags. I've already used -p and -a and that's it. These are the results. Let's go to the questions. There are many nmap cheat sheets online that you can use too. Scan the box. How many ports are open? I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6. What version of Squid proxy is running on the machine? And the Squid proxy is over here. It's running 3.5.12. 3.5.12. How many ports will nmap scan if the flag -p-400 was used? It's kind of common sense. So first 400 ports are been scanned. Using the nmap flag -n, what will it resolve? So -n, is there any description? Okay, no. So let's look at the help. Okay, so here we go. Never do the DNS resolution. So -n never do the DNS resolution. The answer would be DNS, that is domain name service. What is most likely operating system this machine is running? So the operating system it might be running, Ubuntu is popping the most. So it's Linux Ubuntu. Okay, let's look at the hint. Oh no, we are not going to do that. We already done it. Okay, the right answer is Ubuntu. What port is the web server running on? So the port HTTP. Okay, so it's running on 3333. Let's give it a try. Okay, we got a web page of Vulnversity. There we go. So last question is, it's important to ensure you are always doing your reconnaissance thoroughly before progressing. Knowing all open services which can all be points of exploitation is very important. Don't forget that ports on higher range might be open, so always scan ports after 1000, even if you leave scanning in the background. Okay, let's get started with the task 3. So what we are going to do is directory bursting with the help of GoBuster. So let's do it. So what we did is dir directory bursting and -u for URL scan and HTTP on 10.10.157.67, and the port number is 3333 with a word list of common.txt, and we are saving it in directory scan. It might take a couple of seconds. Until then, let's see. The GoBuster flags are -e for print full URLs in the console, -u for the target URL, -w for the word list, path of the word list, -u and p for username, password for basic authentication, -p proxy to use for request, and -c for HTTP cookies. Okay. So we get the results. And the odd one out of it is the internal. Let's look at it. So what is the directory that has an upload form page? Let's use this. Copy the address. Okay, so we can see that on internal we can upload the image or any files. Okay, is it correct? Okay, it's correct. Let's get to the let's get started with the task 4. Compromise the web server. Now you have found a form to upload files. We can leverage this to upload and execute our payload that will lead to compromise the web server. Try upload a few file types to server. What common extension seems to be blocked? So let's try it. Extension .txt is not allowed. Let's try the PHP. Okay, the PHP is also not allowed. Okay, by the hint we can say that it must be PHP. That's correct. To identify which extensions are not blocked, we are going to first the upload form. To do this, we are going to use Burpsuit. If you are unsure to what Burpsuit is, you can do this room, but we are not going to do that. We are going to use the intruder used for automating customized attacks. Okay. To begin with, make a word list with the following extension in. Okay, let's make it. Let's make the nano wordlist.txt and give it this extension .php, .php3, 4, 5 and .html. .php, .php3, .php4, .php5 and .phtml. Let's save it and exit out of it. We can see the word list. Now make sure Burpsuit is configured to intercept all your traffic, browser traffic. Upload a file. Once this request is captured, send it to the intruder. Click on payloads and select the sniper attack. Okay, click the positions tab now. Find the file name and add to the extension. It should look like this. Look like so. So we are only going to select the .php extension, or we can say any other extension. Let's fire up our Burpsuit. Go to the proxy. Turn off the intercept for now. Open the browser. Now let's go to the internal. Okay. Let's turn on the intercept and choose the file. Okay, let's send it to the intruder and go into the positions, clear all out, and we are going to just select the .php and add it. Go to the payloads, click on the simple list for the payload type. Let's load up. It's the word list. Okay, here we go. So click on the start attack. It didn't happen. I don't know why, but we can actually manually do it. Let's click exit out of the Burpsuit. If we do the manual way, we can find that .phtml is allowed. Run this attack. What extension is allowed? So the answer is .phtml is allowed. Now we know what extension we can use for our payload. We can progress. We are going to use a PHP reverse shell as our payload. A reverse shell works by being called on the remote host and forcing this host to make a connection to you. So you will listen for incoming connections, upload and have your shell executed, which will pick out to you for control. Download this following reverse shell. I click on the GitHub file and click on the row, select all and save it, and we will name it as reverse shell.phtml. So I've already made the file, so you need to save the file and give it a name as .phtml. Let's edit our reverse shell file. So how to gain the remote access? Edit the PHP reverse shell file and edit the IP to be your turn 0. Okay, rename the file to php.html. Okay, we are now going to listen to incoming connections using netcat. Run the following command and see nvlp 1234. Upload your shell and navigate to the uploads php. Okay, this will execute your payload. You should see a connection on your netcat. As you can see, we got a shell, simple shell. Okay, our tunnel IP is, let's change it from 127 local IP to tunnel IP 10.17.40.172, and let's not change the port. Let's hit OK and exit out of it. So what we're going to do is hit the netcat nvlp 1234. We are going to listen and we are going to upload a file that is reverseshell.html, which might be accepted. Okay, here we go. It is successful, and let's go to the uploads and click on the reverseshell.html. We can see over here that we got a shell. So let's complete it. We got the reverse shell. What is the name of the user who manages the web server? So the name of the user is Bill. What is the user flag? Let's get into the Bill. Let's get it out, the user.txt. Here's our flag. Let's copy it out. Let's get started with the task 5, that is privilege escalation. Now you have compromised this machine. We are going to escalate our privileges and become the super user root. In Linux, SUID set owner user ID upon execution is a special type of file permission given to a file. SUID gives temporary permissions to a user to run the program file with the permissions of file owner, rather than the user who runs it. For example, the binary file to changes your password has the SUID bit set on it, that is on the user bin password. This is because to change your password, it will need to write to the shadows file that you do not have access. Let's see. Sudo no tt web presence and no ask permission program. For example, in the binary file, okay, we already did it. It is need to write the shadows file for that you do not have access to. Root does, so it has root privileges to make the right changes. On the system, search for SUID files. What file stands out? Okay, let's search for SUID privilege escalation. On the system, search for the SUID files. So let's check it out. Let's do the find, and in the root directory, we are going to do the user, that is root. Okay, I did a mistake. Okay, let's do it again. Find, then the root file, and user is root, and the perm is, as we saw here. Okay, we can do the 4000 and print it out to the dev null. Okay, we got the password over here and systemctl. Okay, we can privilege escalate from the systemctl. We can do the root.service and netcat it out, or maybe SUID privilege escalation. Let's see. systemctl, privilege, okay, we can use the root.service, or we can do the SUID binary exploitation. Okay, we will do both of them. So let's get started with this. First of all, okay, we are going to prepare this file, root.service. So first of all, let's get into the temp folder. How to do that? Let's see first of all what are writable. We can go into the temp. We can write over here, then root dot service, and we can give the unit description. Let's give it the description of root. Let's set the service. Let's give it a type of simple for this example, and user will be root. You can see over here, and exec start is equal to bin bash. So here it is. If you're not sure, we can just change it over here. Let's see. Okay, bash river shell. So we are going to do bash tcp, and let's select this into the, and we are going to change this to our tunnel IP. That is, and let's go to the 4444. Let's set up the install. Wanted by multi user dot target. Let's check it again. Okay, let's save this file, exit out. So we have already created the root.service, and we are going to do Python M, and we are going to upload it on the shell over here. Let's start the server. Okay, now we are going to do wget and http. So what we are going to do now is we are getting into our tunnel IP, that is 10.17.40.172, and our file name is root.service. We successfully did it, and let's close it out. We no longer need it. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to enable our root.service, and that how to do it, systemctl and enable, and we are going to do temporary dot root dot service. Okay, and now systemctl. Before starting systemctl, we are going to do netcat into port 444, which we already set up, so we can hopefully get root nvlp on 4444. Okay, now what we are going to do, systemctl then start root. We should get the, okay, we got the root server root, and let's go to the, we already got the answer of the first question, that is /bin/systemctl. It's challenge time. We have guided you through this far. Are you able to exploit this system further to escalate your privileges and get the final answer, become root, and get the last flag, that is root/root.txt. Okay, let's get it in the root. Here we go, we get the root.txt. Let's get it out. .txt. So we got our final flag. Let's submit it. So let's check out the another way of getting the root. So we already know that in RWX, X stands for sudo. So we are going to manipulate SUID binaries of bash. So we can get RWS. So S stands for SUID bit, and then we can do the bash -p. This will help us to privilege escalate into root. Of course, it's only temporary. Our user ID does not change, just temporarily escalated. Bash p. Let's get into root. We do not have permission, but see. Let's go to the nano. Let's paste it over here and let's delete it out, the first line. Okay, what we are going to do is change the chmod plus s and then binary bin bash, and we are going to change the systemctl path, that is bin okay. Let's copy it out and paste it over here. So let's do the bash -p and let's go into the root, and we got the root. So there you go, you got the two ways of root, I mean privilege escalation. Hopefully you learned something new. If you like this walkthrough, then smash that subscribe button and like this video.